Hey everybody, welcome to the Common Sense Man. I am your host, Jeff Wiley. Took the last 4 days off. Probably shouldn't have. There's been so much news. We'll try to cover a few of it. Uh, so we have I believe it's Wakesha, which I talked about. We're just skipping right over that. 90% of the news organizations are just skipping right over that. It's an SUV. It's a car. Um, we're getting close to the good old ban on SUVs now because, is it an assault SUV? Um, Also, we're finding more information out. Um, I'm getting to the point now where the FBI and the Department of Justice and a few of our other things that we've been prideful in for a long time, I just don't know if they're working. This guy made a bomb threat at a casino in Las Vegas in 2007, and he has a warrant out for that, and he's supposed to show up, and he skipped. So, any bomb threats like that of any type go to the feds, Federal Bureau of Investigation. This dude was on their radar. Um, the uh, the bail reform, which is amazing to me, because supposedly if you don't have enough money, you should get bail. He tried to run his ex-wife or ex-girlfriend over with his vehicle, and he posted $500 bail for that. 500 or 1,000, I'm not really sure. And he's also tried to run over cops with it. So again, posted 500 or $1,000 bail, cash bail, and then did this, where this was a terrorist attack. I'm not going to call it anything other than a terrorist attack. I could care less what the color of the man is. We have to stop this. This was an evil guy that did an evil thing at a Christmas parade. He didn't show up at a riot where they're burning things down. He drove to a family occasion of a Christmas parade to run people over. That is an evil individual. Period. End of discussion. Why can't we all agree to that? Why can't we call it what it is? And that's exactly what it is. So I saved I did a short little video on Facebook about it. Um if you just want to catch it, it's just my name. It's just Jeff Wiley. You can look it up. But saying, what, we need to take a breath, say a prayer. Let's figure out the facts first. We have to start doing that. The reason that I think, the reason that I know that people rush to judgment, not just based on their politics anymore, is because news media is dying because of this, the internet. Because there are people out there that are blowing up, and news corporations like CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, even Fox News, even though they have good ratings, um, you've got Steven Crowder, who has almost 6 million people on YouTube alone, not including his local stuff. You've got Tim Pool, you got Dave Rubin, um, you've got Jimmy Dore. I don't agree with usually 70% of what Jimmy Dore says, but he has a right to say it, and he's got a huge following now because he's just saying it. Okay, there is no filter. Okay, and stop getting your feelings hurt. We've all had our feelings hurt at one time or another in our life. Trust me, it's happened. Okay, and guess what? Your feelings are going to get hurt again at some point in time. Um, but they're coming out and saying what the news won't say because they're ran by corporate media. And corporate media says you need to be this way. So they instill people. I mean, I still think it's funny that we consider Brian Stelter or uh, George Stephanopoulos as journalists. They weren't journalists. Obama administration and Clinton administration, that's who they worked for. So you think they're going to be down the middle journalist whenever they get someone on? Sean Hannity's not a journalist. He's an opinion guy. And he even tells you that. I'm not a journalist. So you have to understand that's where that comes from. Um, I don't think Laura Ingraham is a journalist. Okay? Journalists are people that Tim Pool is a journalist. He will call it in the people that he sits around. There's a lady I follow on here too. She's called the world's scariest or most dangerous knitter. I'm probably going to pronounce her name wrong. It's Carolyn, but I can't pronounce her last name. But she's more of a journalist than the journalists that are out there because she comes out with, hey, this is the news. This is what's happening. If you can't see this or read this or follow this, then I can't help you. If you live inside these four walls with only what's coming into you and you can't understand that, then okay. I get crap for my flags. Okay, that's the original flag. That's the Bessie Ross flag. Okay? And Don't Tread on Me is the first 13 colonies. There's nothing about that that should upset anybody. You know, and again, my mind is just, there was so much stuff. But this Waukesha thing, and I think I'm saying that correctly, is just report that an evil man did something if you're going to do that. An evil man with an evil heart, period. He's on video saying that he was basically pimping out his 16-year-old girlfriend in Las Vegas. That's sex trafficking. What else do you want to call it? But yet, he doesn't do serious jail time anymore because we don't want to put people in jail now for crimes. I'm not talking about smoking a little bag of weed in your room or hitting the bong in your dormitory. Okay, these are people that are committing crimes. This stuff that's happening in California, New York, and Chicago, where they're just basically ransacking stores and there's nothing anybody can do. How do you think that's going to affect the economy? Small businesses can't take 29 Walgreens have pulled out of San Francisco. 29 closed their doors because they're losing that much money. Walmart usually don't have people chase people down. Neither does Target because they figure they'll call the police, they'll follow them and have the police deal with it. Their loss prevention stuff, they can't do much anymore. They'll just take the loss and write it off. But if you get that many people where they're just taking and taking and taking, and heck, they're taking from prescription drugs. They're hitting the Home Depots and getting the sledgehammers. I mean, this is where we are, and no one's calling that. Don Lemon and oh, what's his name, Cuomo, they got on there during the election and said, "Oh yeah, we were all everything's burning down and there's violence everywhere." And yeah, there was. Again, in this little bubble that they lived in, the $500,000 or $2 million a year in their penthouses somewhere in New York, where they never see that, yeah, probably not happening because they have security. They have armed security. The people that live in Oakland, California, in LA, in Compton, in the Bronx, in areas of New York that you don't have private security and you can't secure every mall. These groups know they can go do what they want, especially in California where less than $1,000, they're not going to prosecute you. They're going to write you a ticket. So how's a cop going to stop 30 guys, go through, scan all the products, and say, okay, I'm going to give you a ticket? It's just where we're at. So start calling evil evil. I could care less about the race anymore, and unless he's flying a swastika or there is nothing unless he's again we can't we have watered down racism, and the word race is so bad now that because it's used so much that there's so many people now that don't even get affected by the word. Kyle Rittenhouse was called a white supremacist that night that it happened by news media. They didn't say anything about the color of this man. And again, I'm going to tell you, evil is evil, and it comes in all shapes and sizes and colors and creeds. So that's why I'm not that concerned about it. They are. I'm not. But they didn't come out and say anything about his color at all. They did on Rittenhouse, but they didn't here. That's the hypocrisy that is going on. If they wanted to be serious about staying on the racialness of it, they would have said his color and the people that he killed. There's still people in Europe that think Kyle Rittenhouse shot 3 black people. They're on Twitter talking about it. What are they watching? So again, pay attention. Pray some of this evil ends. I personally don't think it's going to get better before it gets worse, unfortunately. I don't think there just is no way that this is we've swung so far that we have time to right the ship, but I don't know how far we can right it. The generation that's out there right now is the timeout generation. It's the generation that had no, uh, if you did something wrong, okay, there were no consequences to what your actions were. Your parents just didn't do nothing. Or your parents were divorced or separated or doing other stuff or stuck you in front of the TV and let you play video games all day. Didn't make contact with you. And a lot of that has happened. I'm not saying everybody. I know a lot of people. I'm friends with a lot of people that brought their kids up right, and their kids are doing wonderful. But the same age that's running around out there right now is the same age of the kids that are around my age or a little bit younger, and my friends that are raising. So something got lost in translation, and kids weren't afraid of the authority that their parents had, or there wasn't a father, or there wasn't a mother, or there wasn't dual parents in the household to make sure things walked that line, and there were consequences to their actions. So now they don't think there's any consequences to their actions. And right now there isn't. So to make that pendulum swing back, I don't know. It's going to take a lot. I'm going to end this one short. I'm going to record a couple more tonight and send them out. The new variant. If you go back and look at some of my first episodes, I'm telling you right now, it's just not going to stop, people. Get out and live your life. Get out and live your life. Okay? I'm going to touch on that. I got a few other things I'd like to touch on. You guys stay safe out there, and we'll talk to you soon. And don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on my Facebook, which is Jeff Wiley, and follow me here, The Common Sense Man. And you guys have a good evening.